Hey everyone, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 ways to draw a face. Simple and easy. I'm going to walk you through the process first, and then I'm going to demonstrate 3 more faces. So the first thing you can do is draw a circle. I like to use a pen because I can't erase my mistakes. I draw a circle. And then I draw a U-shaped underneath the circle. This is if you really want to measure things out. Now you can use a pencil if you want to. I just don't because I don't like to erase my mistakes. Then I'm going to draw a line down the center and then a line just below center of the circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to, just by the side of the face, kind of curve in for the neck. Curve in for the neck. You've got the head and the neck figured out. All I'm going to do now is draw a little line to indicate the mouth. That's below this circle. So you see this circle here. Underneath it, just draw a line to indicate the mouth. And just above that bottom part of the circle, just above, draw a tiny line to indicate the nose. Okay, so halfway between the bottom here and here is where the mouth is. And just above this bottom part of the circle is the nose. We're just mapping it out. It doesn't have to be perfect. I am then going to, right along this line here, put a little dot to indicate the eye. And it's starting to look like a face. All we need to do to fill in the lips, we'll start with the lips, is a circle on the bottom, smaller circle on the top, smaller circle on the top. You can see how I did that here. I'm going to bring it up so you can see it. Now we can make, if you're doing this in pencil or pen or whatever art supplies, you can make adjustments as you go. I'm just mapping in these features. Now, if you're interested, I have a digital download on how to draw faces. I will leave the link in the comment section. Okay, so we've mapped in the mouth and then the nose. I'm going to actually do a circle. So it's like a series of circles here. I started with a circle and then a U shape underneath. A couple of lines to indicate the mouth and nose, and then I'm back at the circles. Now, the eyeballs are here. I am going to sort of just draw a curved line above it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could see the curved line above it. And you can either draw the eyeball, like, and map in the pupil. A lot of times I'll just leave it black. Don't necessarily go into too much detail, but today I will. Now I'm going to draw the eyelid here. And this is where you could play around with the shapes of eyelids. And I mean, everyone's face looks different. And I'm just using messy lines to indicate the eyebrow. Again, remember, I'm going to demonstrate this again after. So you're going to see me do it multiple times. Okay, so this is looking like a face. It's looking pretty good. You could elongate the forehead if you want to and make the circle longer, but the hair for me, like, you could just draw another circle over that to indicate the hair, and you can bring it down if you want. I'm leaving a space because I'm going to put her ears in, but bring it down if you want to, and you could play with the hair. The ears are the start at the corner of the eye and the bottom of the nose, corner of the eye and the bottom of the nose. And then you can just map in the ears, and you can make them whatever you want them to look. Everyone's ears look different, everyone's eyes, we are all different. And I am just quickly drawing this out. The next thing we're going to do for the nose is I'm going to draw the nostrils and sort of bring it in and draw like a little I don't know, curved line for her nose. And you can see it coming together. Now, if you get a thicker marker, like a Sharpie marker, you can really, I love to get those eyelashes in and be very dramatic about it. And I think that looks good. And then you could really play around with her face and her hair. Now that you've sort of mapped it in. Now you could use a pencil, probably easier to use a pencil, but I never do. And then I could just draw some lines to indicate like her shirt, different patterns. It's not about perfection, especially if you're trying to draw. It should be, for me, I like to draw characters. And let's see if I could get her lips in. I extend her lips a little bit. Those ovals or whatever that I did for her lips are just to mark that mouth, right? And where it's going to go. You could change the shape as you go. And that's what I've done here. You could see that. You can even draw like eyelashes underneath if you want to. But you could see it's starting to look like a face. So that is the first way, and that's the way you should practice with your faces at the beginning, and then you could really play around with it. So again, I'm going to go over it one more time. You're going to draw a circle. Perfection is not required. Then you're going to draw a U shape underneath the circle. Okay, now it's starting to look like a face. You're going to draw a neck. Sometimes I like to draw longer necks to make it look, you know, give these faces character. So I've drawn the circle with a half a U shape or a U shape underneath it. Then I'm going to draw a line straight down the center. And almost in the middle of this circle that I drew, another line. We know that the nose is going to go just above that bottom part of the circle. And then the mouth, I put a little line here, circle, circle, and a bigger circle to indicate the lips. And again, you can play around with this however you want. We're just mapping in the features. Now, anywhere along this line, you can draw the eyes. You can draw a circle below that line. I like to work in circles, just makes it easier. And then a half a circle or just a curved line for the eyes. And you can kind of see it just really sort of starts coming together. You can make the eyebrows high arches, low arches. You can do anything you want because you're just practicing drawing your faces. This is just practice. Now I'm going to draw some lines to indicate some shading. Her ears, I'm going to map in again, the bottom of the nose, corner of the eye. A lot of times I don't even draw the ear because when I color these faces, I'm drawing hair. So if I'm drawing hair, you don't need the ears. And there's her hair. Once you've got comfortable with doing this, you could just draw an oval. You could just draw a curved line for the eyes and a dot for the eyeball, right? You don't need to go into so much detail if you don't want to. You could draw a line for the nose and just those circles for the mouth. Sometimes I like the necks to look a little bit like they're going off, like she's looking off or something. And then this is her hair. It's really about practicing and not worrying about perfection. Then you could draw some like big earrings and just sort of make it your own. This is a very easy way to draw faces without focusing on perfection. These are the last 3 drawings. I hope you found this helpful when it comes to how to draw faces and just keeping it simple if you can. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not. A lot of times when you color it in, you can bring it to life. And sometimes those quirky faces are so much more fun than the perfect faces. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy sketching.